Water is vital to every system in the body. It can affect your mental health, energy levels, kidney function, and when we're dehydrated, even our skin becomes more vulnerable to skin disorders and wrinkling. Clean, safe water is the foundation of a healthy life. Wouldn't it be great to have access to fresh, clean spring water every day? Unfortunately, the truth is murkier. The sources of our water are not pure and untouched. Many rivers in Asia are contaminated with as much as 3 times the world average of bacteria, mostly from human waste. Contaminants can creep into your water supply from many different sources, including pesticides and herbicides from agricultural areas, harmful chemical byproducts from manufacturing plants, and bacteria and viruses from sewage and animal waste, to name just a few. And indeed, these examples are the main contamination sources contributing to the pollution of rivers in Southeast Asia. Water treatment plants do their best to remove many of these contaminants through certain kinds of filters and by adding oxidizing agents to the water, like chlorine or chloramine. But none of these methods can completely reduce all contaminants. And particularly bad cases of water contamination often force water treatment plants to shut down periodically until the source of contamination is isolated. Well, one alternative option is bottled water. And while this does solve the problem of clean water, it also presents its own drawbacks. Bottled water uses a lot of plastic, and that plastic usually ends up in landfills, on beaches, and in the ocean. And this plastic ends up polluting other water sources. So this perpetuates the problem rather than solving it. Plus, it can get costly to keep you and your family hydrated with bottled water. Now, luckily, there's another option: home water filtration. This option offers all the convenience of tap water, but with the added peace of mind that the water you're drinking has just undergone thorough filtration right before you drink it. And it doesn't generate a ton of plastic waste either. But not every home water filtration system is ideal. In fact, most of them have some pretty significant downsides. Some take up a large amount of countertop space, or they're very complicated to assemble. Many have complex cartridges and filters that are difficult to replace. The instructions and the user experience is often poor. Some are quite inefficient and generate a lot of wastewater. For example, reverse osmosis is often held up as the gold standard for water filtration. And it is, in fact, quite thorough at filtering water, but there is a price. Reverse osmosis filtration can waste large amounts of water. In fact, for every 4 liters of filtered water you get, you waste between 10 and 20 liters of water. Another description that often pops up with filtered water is the phrase alkaline water. But this actually does not have to do with filtration. It has to do with something called pH. pH is a 1 to 14 scale that essentially measures how acidic or how alkaline or basic the water is. Alkaline water has a pH of between 8 and 10 usually, and water filtration, though, does not influence pH. And there's no conclusive evidence that drinking alkaline water has any health benefits over drinking non-alkaline purified water. So within the water filtration area, we found there's a lot of room for improvement. The good news is these problems can all be overcome. In fact, at Nu Skin, we knew we could do better. We spent a lot of time searching and testing to find the best possible filtration materials available. We talked with many different water experts to understand the challenges of each different approach. It became clear to us that we needed to leverage several different filtration technologies in certain forms and use them in the right order. We explored ways to improve the user experience to make the end product as user-friendly as possible. The result is the Ecosphere water purifier, designed specifically with all these criteria in mind. First and foremost, it needed to be very good at filtering water. After all, that's what its primary purpose is. But beyond that, we wanted a water filter that was easy and fast to install, easy to replace the filter, and looked elegant with a small footprint. It needed to be a closed system, a filter that didn't create wastewater, and we wanted to have an optimal user experience. So this Ecosphere water purifier has a sleek design with a small footprint, so it can easily fit on most countertops. The replaceable filter is easily accessible and everything is contained. You don't have to assemble tubes and power cables, mixing water with electricity. It's all pre-assembled and ready to use. It features a touch-sensitive water diverter that puts less strain on your kitchen faucet, and LED light indicators on the diverter let you know when your filter is ready to be changed. Clean water is just a light tap away. Besides all these smart functions, did you know that Ecosphere water purifier is energy savvy? When it's in standby mode, the power consumption is just 1 watt. When we start purifying the water, the device needs just 18 watts to function, so the cost of electricity consumption is very small. Lastly, and most importantly, is the filter. The Ecosphere water purifier uses a 3-in-1 filtration cartridge that is incredibly easy to change out. It requires no tools or plumbing experience and takes less than 30 seconds to change. You simply twist and pull out the old cartridge and then put the new one in and give it a quarter of a turn and press reset, and you're good to go. In addition to all these user-friendly features, the Ecosphere water purifier also includes I4 ultra purification technology based on high-quality filtration media, intelligently ordered to optimize the purification process. So this filtration technology has 4 steps. First, water is filtered through a polypropylene pleated pre-filter. It's a lot of P's, I know. This pre-filter is responsible for removing larger particles in water like dust and sand and sediment. And the pleats in this pre-filter give it a larger surface area, which means it has a higher holding capacity and less resistance to water flow. And that's important to keep the water filtering quickly and efficiently. The second step is the water filters through a compressed carbon block. Now, carbon blocks have been historically shown to be the most effective way of removing organic contaminants, like chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, along with chlorine, sediment, taste, and odor from the water. The Ecosphere water purifier utilizes a compressed carbon block, which provides a more uniform and consistent filtration property than other types of carbon filtration. A compressed carbon block uses more labor-intensive manufacturing processes, but it's well worth the extra effort because the final product has a more uniform and consistent filtration property. Ecosphere's compressed activated carbon block is the best available form of carbon for water filtration today. This stage of the filtration process reduces compounds including particulates, microscopic cysts, lead, volatile organic compounds that we call VOCs, and other contaminants. The third stage of water filtration is the polyether sulfone membrane, or PES membrane. This membrane contains tiny pores or holes ranging in size from 100 nanometers right down to 10 nanometers, which is what puts the Ecosphere water purifier in the ultra filtration range. Just like with the pre-filter, the PES membrane is shaped in such a way to maximize surface area to allow sufficient water flow through such a dense membrane. With this level of ultrafiltration, most microbiological contaminants will be removed from the water. Now, these first 3 stages of filtration are all contained in a single, easy-to-replace 3-in-1 filter cartridge. The fourth and final stage of the filtration process is ultraviolet light, another strongly proven method of water cleansing and disinfection. UV lamps have the ability to completely disrupt and kill bacteria. The Ecosphere water purifier takes UV to the next level by utilizing a state-of-the-art cold cathode lamp, or CCL, UV technology. CCL UV lamps not only last many times the life of other UV lamps, they also fire on much faster and run at a much cooler temperature. And this translates into a more effective filtration and a lamp that does not require periodic replacement. Because the lamp runs at a lower temperature, the glass doesn't run the risk of browning over time. Because browning of the glass can cause the UV light to become less effective. The bulb is also much quicker at turning on, making the UV contact time with the water longer. Now that we understand each stage of the water filtration process, let's talk about some of the research and the studies on the Ecosphere. When the water passes through all 4 stages of filtration of the Ecosphere's I4 ultrapurification technology, it effectively reduces certain bacteria up to 99.9999%. That's a lot of nines, and it sounds very impressive. But what does that actually mean? Well, when we conducted internal testing on the Ecosphere water purifier, we started with water that contained over 1 million colony-forming units, or CFUs, of bacteria. After it passed through the Ecosphere, we measured again, and it contained less than 1 CFU of bacteria. So Ecosphere took water from over 1 million CFUs of bacteria down to less than 1. That is what 99.9999% reduction in bacteria means. We also had an accredited independent laboratory repeat this testing, and the results came back just as amazing, showing a 99.9999% reduction in bacteria throughout the entire life of the cartridge. So you can be confident that Ecosphere water purifier will provide this level of protection when you first install it, all the way up till the cartridge needs to be replaced, which is typically after about 12 months. Additionally, aside from bacteria, the 4-stage filtration process handles a wide range of other contaminants, because bacteria aren't the only thing that can contaminate water. The combination of each of the 4 stages of the filtration process allows the Ecosphere water purifier to remove contaminants like particulates, cysts, turbidity, chemical reduction, and more. And because of the way the filtration process works, Ecosphere is able to remove these contaminants while leaving beneficial minerals in the water. The Ecosphere water purifier is also NSF certified. NSF certification means that the product has been tested by one of the most respected independent certification organizations today. So what is NSF? NSF International has been around for more than 75 years. Their mission is to protect and improve human health. And this is carried out by their professional staff of engineers, microbiologists, toxicologists, chemists, and public health experts in 180 countries across all major industries. As a global independent organization, NSF Standards team facilitates development of public health standards, while their service teams test, audit, and certify products and services. So what does that really mean for you? The NSF mark provides assurance that the product was impartially reviewed to establish standards by a team of professionals dedicated to public health and safety. It confirms that product labeling and claims have been objectively verified by a trusted third party. And of course, it demonstrates an organization's commitment to quality, compliance, and safety. At Nu Skin, we are always pursuing higher standards, from science research to product development. We're committed to delivering only the best, highest quality, and most effective products for customers and you. And with the NSF mark, its product quality is reinforced and validated. Before we wrap up, let's do a live demonstration to show how well the Ecosphere water purifier removes one common contaminant in water, chlorine. Chlorine is often added to water deliberately as a way to chemically disinfect water. And while this is good because it kills many harmful bacteria, it also means that the water still has chlorine dissolved in it, which is not ideal. So for this demonstration, we're going to test both regular tap water with chlorine in it and water filtered by the Ecosphere water purifier. Now I'll add a reagent that's commonly used to detect chlorine. If chlorine is present in the water will turn pink. But if there's no chlorine in the water, then the water will stay clear. Now, as you can see, the tap water is pink, indicating chlorine is present. But the water that's been filtered by the Ecosphere is clear, meaning there is no chlorine present in the water. And this is just one way to illustrate the filtration power of Ecosphere. Chlorine is a very small molecule, and the fact that Ecosphere can remove it from tap water shows just how amazing Ecosphere's ultrafiltration is.